Carla Hinton reporting for the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com. Former State Senator Brooks Douglas is in Oklahoma to film a movie called Heaven's Rain, which chronicles a series of events in his life. The movie tells the true story of the 1979 murders of Douglas's parents, the Reverend Richard Douglas and his wife Marilyn. We recently sat down with Brooks Douglas and some of the film crew to discuss this film project.
I had people express an interest in doing a movie before, and I really didn't like the approach that some of those people wanted to, whether it was because they wanted to make it a true crime story, or and then there was the whole issue ultimately of once you give up control to a studio or to another production company, they can do whatever they want to. They can rewrite the script, they can change the characters, they can do whatever they want, and that made me pretty nervous. And so I started writing it, and then Paul Brown, who's written a lot of stuff like this, decided, he teamed up with me to give it structure and to make it into something that would be something audiences would want to watch.
The way we schedule it is it's a 12-hour day, and so if we start at 9, we go 9 to 3, and then lunch is exactly 6 hours in. We take a 45-minute lunch, and then we have another 6 hours after that. So it ends up being about 12 and a half, 13 hours total, but 12 hours worth of work.
Being the sound mixer on feature film means you're recording all the audio that takes place on set, all the dialogue, anything you can possibly get on set. The only things I wouldn't record would be special effects like explosions and things that aren't really happening. It's a good crew, and the actors have been really good, and it's a great story.
I think to me, there are two very important messages, and the biggest one being the issue of forgiveness, and not only that to be able to forgive people for the things that they do to us, but sometimes we create our own problems in the world and in our lives and with other people, and we need to be forgiven by those people as well. And so there's two sides of that, and I think both sides of that come out ultimately in the movie. And I think that is an important message for us today. At a minimum, it's been a little bizarre to see certain setups and know. Walking down a hallway, I looked and saw a scene being played out, and I didn't have my headsets on. I couldn't hear the audio, but I knew what was going on in the scene, and then also being able to remember how that actually happened in my life, and that was a little bizarre. And then some of it's been very, very difficult. We already shot the crime scene. And that was particularly difficult. But other things along the way have been much harder than I thought they were going to be. But it's something that I've just had to realize, if we're going to do this movie, we're going to do this story, then there's some of these things I'm just going to have to be willing to go do. And hopefully this is it. We do make a really, really good movie.
Filming in Oklahoma has been great. I live here in Oklahoma City, and I have worked on 7 feature films here in Oklahoma City. And so I am very used to filming here in Oklahoma City, and the biggest advantage is that people are still excited about movies. And so unlike Los Angeles, where just someone walking down the street expects $500 just to pass by, here people actually see the value in movies, and so it's actually really fun. And most of the small towns we go to really enjoyed the opportunity to get to meet actors and directors and a lot of the different artists that are in town for that.
Filming in Oklahoma has been terrific. It's seems like a very film friendly, at least OKC is very film friendly, and lots of great locations. I don't see any reason not to shoot in OKC.
I've wanted to do the movie here, and the state, through the incentives, has made it much easier to shoot a movie here. We have such fantastic locations, and people have been so generous and giving with locations, with wardrobe, and because these are set in the 70s and in the 90s, and cars, and things that you've got to find that fit those time periods. And we have an absolutely fantastic crew. Most of them are from Oklahoma. And what I hope happens is that, because I'd like to produce more movies and I'd like to shoot them here. So hopefully the incentives will stay in place, but another part of that is as the crew, the availability of crew becomes more deep, it's going to make it much easier. It's a great place to shoot, and I've really had a great experience, and like to see more of it done.